Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
Recording.
Okay.
And so, good morning. How are you?
Hey there. Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love the fall, so I love the weather and everything and the colors for fall. And so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energized. I'm so excited. I've been playing with ChatGPT on a whole nother level. And so that's been really fun over the last couple of days. So I have, for those of you guys who haven't played with ChatGPT, please go play with it. Like, it is just, for entrepreneurs, it's like having an intellectual best friend that knows everything. Like, it can be your coach. It can be it's just amazing. So my friend Treva was like, "Hey girl, that with some of the new apps on ChatGPT, like you can run a business analysis, you can have it do your marketing plan and all of these things." And so we just been having fun putting stuff in. So, I put in, let's see, what did I put in? I need to make an extra.
It's your best friend.
Girl, I think I put in, I need to make an extra $200,000 next year based on what you know of me, since I'm on ChatGPT all the time. Based on what you know of me, give me 20 business ideas that'll give me $200,000 next year. And then I took each one of those business ideas and it's like, okay, so now organize these business ideas from least effort and least investment to most effort and most investment. And then it gave me all of that. And then I think we took 3 years, just like, give me a full, complete business analysis with a 5-year prospectus on like the top 3. And so it just, and then it's just so much fun. So if y'all haven't done that, please go do it. Like, plug your goals in because it's just fun to see. And it's almost like on one of them, it felt like, this is honest God, what it felt like. That ChatGPT was able to dream bigger for me than I could dream for myself. Yeah. And I thought that was really, really interesting. So, and they always say you should have somebody in your life, even if it's a computer program, who can dream bigger for you than you can dream for yourself.
Funny thing is, Natalie, I think with the computer program, people talk about how, it has no sensitivity, it has no humanization, whatever. Mm-hmm. We need it to sometimes. Because guess what? There are no limited beliefs.
Right.
No doubts. Right. No imposter syndrome. And I think that is the conversation that really needs to be had for the people who are reluctant to use it, because it's a tool. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not going to take your place. Mm-mm. You just have to become irreplaceable.
Ooh, say that. Oh, say that. Yes.
That's your job. Mm-hmm. If they're threatening us with, us entrepreneurs, we're pretty resilient, innovative. In our industries, we pretty much know what to do. A lot of us are in industries that are recession proof, right? Mm-hmm. So we just have to learn this digital world, and just learn to maneuver different, which is what you're doing. Mm-hmm. This is a perfect example. So I love that you said you have to have someone who can dream for you, even if it's a computer, program. But I love that, because there are no limited beliefs. Like, you're not going to get scared. The computer ain't going to get scared. No. That's why when people read what it said, it's like, you're like,
right?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't dream that big for me. I didn't think that big for me.
I didn't. And because this is the fun thing. Y'all always remember, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you haven't thought of yet. And so you have to somehow get new information into you, or somebody who can speak into you, or a computer system who can plug in some numbers for you so that you can know. And so it's just things that you like, for whatever reason, you wouldn't think about it like that, or you wouldn't think about it like that. So one of the things that it suggested, which I love the best, was doing a high-end couples retreat that was geared toward entrepreneurial couples, because they have different dynamics. And so, and then I was like, okay, cool. And for whatever reason, in my mind, I was just thinking, we'll do a couples retreat, we'll charge one fee, and then but it was like, it gave me 3 tiers. So like kind of ultimate, platinum, premier, and then a middle grade, and then a low grade. And I just wouldn't have thought of doing it like that. And so, and then it was just like, and in 5 years, you should be able to franchise this. Wait, what? I wouldn't even think, just thinking about that. And so, utilize these tools. And so if you're an entrepreneur, and I think this is going to be our topic today, I need you not to be Blockbuster, you get stuck in your ways, and this is the way I've done my business, and this is always the way I'm going to do my business, and I'm not going to innovate. Blockbuster had the opportunity to be Netflix. They had the opportunity to be Redbox. Yeah. And they didn't take it. They didn't innovate. Nope, this is the way we've always done it, and so this is the way we're always going to do it. And so you will get left behind. You will get left behind. And so so you have to, okay, so let me give you guys practical things. So make sure that as an entrepreneur, that you are open to new ideas, that you are testing out kind of the new technologies, and that you're making a way for new ideas to be implemented into the company. And so that might be hiring new people with fresh ideas that can see it differently. It may even be, I was having a wonderful conversation with somebody yesterday. We were talking about hiring, and she wants to hire somebody who has a completely different background and bring them into her business, because that completely different background will give them new, different ideas and how to apply it to her business. And so you need to strategically think about how you're going to get and implement new ideas into your business. And so it may be coaching. Okay, I'll get a coach in and see what this coach has for me. ChatGPT, because that's my current love right now. Mastermind groups, a new mastermind group, maybe a mastermind group in a different industry that's different from yours. And so I don't know if you guys know Jay Abraham. Have you heard of Jay Abraham? Anyway, he's a marketing guy. He's a small business coach, specifically for marketing and stuff like that. He really became, I won't say famous, but what he did is he took Tony Robbins' people, after Tony Robbins worked his people all the way through his program. Jay then came in and said, hey, Tony, when your people graduate your program, what they doing? So he did a collaboration with them. And then that's how Jay grew his program based off of Tony's people. And of course, probably gave Tony, some type of franchise fee, whatever you want to call it. And so, but one of the things that Jay said that he was able to do is he took lessons from other industries and applied them to his industry or a different industry. And so he said he would study multiple industries to see how they do it. Oh, they do it like this over here. Well, why we do it like this over here? What happens if we apply this over here? What happens if we just think about it differently? Could it be done differently, and could it garner us more money, more profits? And so that's really what Jay kind of preaches, is really learning to do things different ways. Like, you don't have to do it the same old way you've been doing it. And if you find yourself saying that, then that's a red flag to you that you need to change. If it come out, well, we always did it like this, you need to arrest your own self.
Big red flag.
Like that.
Big red flag.
You arrest your own self, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Okay, let me go sit down, because that's not just because that's the way we always did it is not the way we need to keep doing it. It's not. Not if you want a business that's going to innovate and stay with the times and continue on. So, okay, I'm digressing off my soapbox.
That was really good. That was really good. Because I think that, you know, you definitely can get stuck. Mm-hmm. But then when you're wondering why you're stuck, mm-hmm. everything you just said is why. And people aren't really realizing that the you doing things the same old way is the reason why you're stuck.
Yeah.
Now, I think the way we came up in business before we took this technology turn, right? Mm-hmm. I think that we were so set in our ways, programmed to do things a certain way, you know, for a certain amount of time. Oh, mm-hmm. Because remember, we were born into a retirement culture. Mm-hmm. Go to college, get you a job, and retire. When I went to college, left college, and did hair, that wasn't a real job. Mm-hmm. But I was making more money than my parents.
Than real job people. Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't respected as a real career or job. And a lot of beauty professionals, I think, back old school can tend to negate our careers and negate our experience and our journey because it wasn't a college career, it wasn't a college degree, and it wasn't a corporate career. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we're servicing all these people. You know, Natalie, someone was asking me, how do I feel in society, you know, without having a degree? I was like, I don't need a degree. I was like, you know how resourceful I am? You know how many of my people, you know, my whole ecosystem is so degreed up. I was like, I don't need no degree. I'm so tapped in with brilliant, you know, people who are educated, resourceful, connected, innovative. I'm good. Mm-hmm. I'm good. I just need to be connected to my people and keep good relationships. You know,
that part right there.
Great connections and keep making more. Mm-hmm. You know, so that is one. That one only. It didn't bother me much because I became an entrepreneur early, so I didn't have that battle right there. And then I just really dove in with my people who I knew. You know, I was like, well, you got what I need, so we good. I got what you need. You got what I need. We good. But I think that because we came up in that era of, keep doing it the same. Keep doing it the same. That's what's going to get you where you need to be. And then things shifted. And a lot of us didn't quite shift with that. So that's how we got stuck. So because we shunned the digital world. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Because you're so used to doing everything manually and, you know, working with your hands and, you know, not working with your mind as much, your mind and your creative ideas. Creativity, you know, was shunned. Remember those aunts and uncles that walked around looking like how you look right now with your locks and your jewelry and your hair and the flowy dresses and free? Remember, they were free.
Right.
And they were shunned.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to say some of the words that they were called because they were free back then. Mm-hmm. And now we all want to be free. And your free is going to look different than anyone else.
Yeah.
But you need to go be your free. Mm-hmm. You need to go find your free and do what you are gifted to do out here. Hold on, I got to pull off. I'm in a wrong place. And the security like, get your butt out of here. So okay, I'm gone. All right, yeah. So Natalie, I think that we are now way more open-minded, and we're ready. We are ready to shift. Like, just having this conversation with you is a miracle. Would never go by information in the computer. We are just Remember when we started putting our we were scared to put our money in the ATM?
Right.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do remember.
Am I frozen?
You froze a little bit, but you
do remember? And okay, so remember we weren't fooling with ATMs and all that kind of stuff. We were going in the bank. We weren't paying bills online.
Right.
But that was a whole shift.
Yeah.
And like we're in another one. We're just in a major shift now because the world has changed so much. And it's either, make the shift or get left behind.
Right. Yeah. And so y'all make the shift. Make the shift. And I think you need to adopt change. Yeah. Change, adopt the attitude of being willing to change.
Ooh,
and I know that's hard. I know that's hard. And so because what we know is safe, what we know is comfortable, what we know, especially if it's worked for us. So if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Okay, I agree with that. I have said that myself. But also you've got to look at the market trends. And so just because it ain't broke today and we don't know to fix it today, don't mean we don't need to have a plan for what's coming down the pipe for tomorrow. And go ahead and start to look at that and prepare for that. And so let me stop right there on that, because how many of you guys out there take a minute, a day, an afternoon, a couple of hours and say, what are the market trends? What's happening? What are my people moving toward? What are my people moving away from? What might serve them better in the future? Is there a service that I probably need to get rid of that doesn't work for my people anymore? And so really taking that time to do essentially your own internal business analysis, what's working and what's not working, and really paying attention to the market trends. And so I've been reading and listening to, is it Gary Vee? It's Gary Vee and somebody else. I can't think of the other guy. Like tipping point. What makes a new trend a new trend? Like when does it hit that tipping point? And so regardless of what makes that tipping point, is usually we can see stuff changing if we just take a minute and look and see. And y'all, really what's going to tell you what's changing is your numbers. And so look at the different services you offer and look at your numbers. Is it one service that's selling more than the other services? Is it one service that used to sell and it's not selling anymore? So look at your numbers, because your numbers will also probably tell you the trends of your business so that you can shift. And then if you're losing business for whatever reason, you might not know, but start to get curious about what's going on with this. I used to have 5 orders on this a month, and now I only have 3. What's going on? It could be a competitor moved into the field. It could be somebody's offering the service cheaper. It could be that people don't want that service anymore. But do some investigation on your business, and especially since we're rolling into the end of the year, this last quarter, of really thinking about, okay, what do we need to put in place for 2025? And so this is a really good time to look at your services, to look at your offerings, to say what's working and what's not working. I really thought this was going to sell. This didn't sell. Do I need to take that off the menu and replace it with something else? And so we see restaurants do that. We see product companies do that. We don't sometimes think about that with service businesses in that, like what service is working, what's not working. And it might be a really good time for you guys also to do a survey of your people. Yeah. So are you needing something that I'm not giving or providing that you could get from me? So that would be really, really good. So, okay, you're back and stable now.
I've been all over the place, but I had the meeting I was headed to was canceled, and I could have stayed home. But this is what we do. We just roll and keep it moving. So everything you are saying is, oh gosh, this is a huge conversation. Because one of the things that came to me, Natalie, was when you're talking about analyzing your business.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of small businesses, not restaurant, let's say service businesses for sure. I think we missed the mark on analyzing. For one, because you can be in such, I don't want to use, a lot of times in hustle mode or in hustle grind, whatever you want to call it, desperation, or just building. I don't want to come from a negative, space, but sometimes just you're constantly building and you're not realizing that you need to analyze. It's easier to analyze when you are pushing through when a lot of people are coming through your business. But when you're service based and you're so high touch, you have to remember, this is where those systems come in place. Maybe every quarter, or even if you are doing it annually, you should analyze the business. Who is coming, who stopped coming, who's slowing down. Is it financial? Is it because of my customer service? Is it because of whatever? Because it looks different for us, than a business that has multiple employees or a lot of employees, a lot of traffic. So that's where that unique system building has to come in place, because if you do slow down in business, there is a reason why, and it's most likely not why other businesses are slowing down,
right?
So literally it could be energetic, literally it could be because you have not been following up like you should, because a lot of people just need to be reminded, especially in today's time, like, oh, I do need to go see my therapist. I haven't seen my therapist in 3 months, and I'm paying a membership or a retainer fee, and I haven't went to see my therapist. Oh, same thing with beauty. A lot of it is required, but sometimes a person may not have made it to the hairstylist because they are just freaking busy. What's the answer to that? Maybe people, like, I give you so this is just an example. I remember you had a photo shoot, right? And we maybe glazed over it, talked about it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I got to make sure I take care of her shoot for her style and makeup, all that. You call me for makeup, and I looked up and you had done your photo shoot, and I'm like, damn, to style her, I meant to make sure she had this, that, and the other. And even if I'm there, I am going to do your, behind the scenes content and all that stuff. So what happened was I didn't remind you that, hey, let me come and let me do this, that, and the other for you, because you probably didn't even know that was available at the time, or accessible for you, or you may know, but you may not know to what degree. A lot of people, answer this for me. Do a lot of people say, oh, I thought you was busy, you don't have time for that? Do a lot of people say that to you?
Yes. Yeah. And I've really tried to work on that. Like, but call me and see. Maybe on couch watching Netflix. Like,
yes. So when it comes to, I hate it when people say that to me, because I don't want you to have that feeling.
Yeah.
Because you're probably missing out on some of my greatest gifts and some of my greatest services, and then we didn't connect. So stop assuming.
Gotcha.
Stop assuming and just ask. And then even with us, follow up. If you follow up with your people and your people know exactly what you do, your book should be filled.
That's true.
And I mean, from speaking to services to any and everything. Right? If you just remind people what you do.
Right. Yeah. And your email may be your follow-up system. So your people contact strategy. So hopefully if you guys worked on that from when we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, you got that in place, that can be an easy follow-up system for you. Easy way of following up, just making sure people are getting that email, that those emails are running smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we had this conversation, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send out an email today, and I'm going to tell people what I'm doing, because I just told a client this, and I was like, oh no, stop hesitating and waiting for everything to get together, and send the people out an email and let them know what you're working on and what you're doing. You know, my website was super outdated, and I've been working on it forever to update it. We literally took it all the way down, and I was like, you know what? I need to tell people this, but they still need to know what I do and what resources I have for them. You know, if I am, you know, the go-to person, if I am the resource center, you know, people should know what I have. They call me anyway for everything. So you need to know the rest of what I have for you. You know, through an email, through, you know, social media, whatever. So, I got a win.
Oh, I can't wait to hear. Go ahead and tell me.
I posted on LinkedIn this morning.
Oh, right now, you know, LinkedIn, my jam. Welcome to LinkedIn, girl.
I posted on LinkedIn last year. In February or sometime last year, and I started promoting about the conference that the convergence. It wasn't a conference, it was a convergence. That I was going to speak at. I was like, I'm going to jump on LinkedIn. I'm here, y'all, and I'm here to stay. Posted one time and didn't go back. Because it's not my habit.
Gotcha.
So I am in a reprogramming right now of making LinkedIn my habit.
Okay.
So I had to say that. I know that was out of nowhere, but I just like, wait a minute.
Okay.
I had to share that.
Okay. Share that. All right. For you, while you're in this trying to add LinkedIn to your thing, do you have one platform that you're using that will post to all of your platforms yet?
I do. I hadn't been using it.
Okay.
But we're in the middle of it right now.
Okay.
We're in the middle of it, which is what was kind of had me off track for Monday, because we hadn't finished setting things up. But I was like, bump that. I got to go set this post up anyway. I said I was going to do it. I am going to post on LinkedIn. So it was supposed to happen yesterday with the automation, and it didn't. So I'm like, bump that. I'm going to over there anyway. So
yay. Well, welcome to my world. LinkedIn is my world. As far as social media, for whatever reason, it was a platform that made more sense to me. And I'm able to prospect on LinkedIn in a way in which I cannot do on the other platforms. And so not that the other platforms don't work, because I've heard fabulous people talk about how they prospect on Facebook. And I've also heard people talk about how they prospect on Instagram, and those just seemed a little bit harder for me. But LinkedIn, I don't know, for whatever reason, some social media sites work better than you. And so for your demographic, LinkedIn is going to be perfect, because you can really, really hone in on your ideal client.
I know.
I'm really excited for you on that.
I know. I play too much. And they are easier over there. You know, like I get DMs all the time, and I just was not over there. Like, you know, that's the path of least resistance, and you were resisting it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And I gotta say, you know, and I think most coaches say, don't get overwhelmed with social media. If you can't get there, you can't get there. Like, it's hard to be on all of the platforms. And so I'll advise the people who are listening to us, at the beginning, if you want to be on multiple platforms, I really would suggest you use one of these software systems that allows you to post once and to post to all the platforms at the beginning. And then you can start to learn each platform and figure out how to tailor your post for each different platform. Mm-hmm. But at the beginning, if you're just trying to be out there, just figure out a system that works, allows you to be able to post consistently. And then we can get fancy. Then we can start, doing posts on LinkedIn and one picture on Instagram, and we can figure that out in time.
Yeah.
So, but yay, welcome to LinkedIn.
Yeah, the shift, like the shift has to happen. Shift, like you said, shift somewhere so you can shift other places along the way, but shift somewhere. It's got to happen. I even looked at myself in many ways and how I was outdated, and I was like, dang, I didn't even realize it. Okay, I get it now, because I get it quick. I can see that for other people easily, but then you got to take a look at yourself.
You do have to take a look at yourself.
That's from the inside out. That is from, how you think and how you're moving out here, how you do business, just how you show up, period. Are you, like you said, not that we have to be trendy, but you should be tapped into the trends so that you can understand what is going on. The awareness is what's key.
Yeah.
I respect people who are able to lock in on one thing and do one thing the same way and be very successful. I think that's amazing.
Yes.
But that is a different type of way of thinking. Like you gotta just think about Frankie Beverly. He did that thing amazingly. He made music that will never go away. And he never really had to transition until he left here. But everyone doesn't have that gift.
Yeah, but even looking at that as the industry changed and how people consume music changed. And so making sure that even though your core thing stays the same, you also have a part of you that's available for the changes.
Yes.
And so they started out when only LPs were available. And then what was next? Cassette tapes was available. And then CDs was available. That was next. And now most of us then the iPod. And it was all downloaded. Now, most of us, I don't know about everybody else. I consume music via YouTube or Spotify or something like that. Yeah. And so there's a core of your business that's going to stay the same. That one thing that you do, you're going to keep doing it, but figuring out how to do it all the different ways.
Yeah.
That it can be done. And opening, and wait, I want to go back because you touched on this. That it usually is hard for us to see ourselves. And so that's why you got to get new eyes, you got to get new blood, you got to get whatever newness you can. And it might be a really good way, might be to hire a college intern. Hire a college intern. Usually you don't have to pay them. You can do a non-paid internship and have them work on a facet of your business. What ideas do you have, 20-year-old person? 20-year-old person. Yeah. What do you know about culture that I don't know about culture? What trends do you see that I don't see? What do you think is old that I don't think is old? At this point, I think if you talk to a 20-year-old, like they'll tell you Facebook is very old. Facebook is very old. There's old people on Facebook. And I do have aunts and uncles on Facebook who are in their 60s and 70s. So I definitely see how they say that. And so, but that might be new information for you. And so figuring that out. And then I think also for our businesses, we need to figure out, because this happened on Bar Rescue. Yeah, I love Bar Rescue.
Yeah, that's a good show.
If you feel bad about what you're doing in business, watch 2 episodes of Bar Rescue and you'll be like, Lord Jesus, at least I ain't that bad. You do. That's my show. I love that show. So, but what happened on one of the bars on Bar Rescue is their demographic aged out. And so they didn't make the transition for a younger demographic to come in. So they catered to this probably like 30s social vibe, singles, but then the singles got married and aged out of the bar scene. And they didn't transition the music to bring in a younger demographic. And so if you have a business model where your people could possibly age out of it, then you need to look at that and be prepared for that. And so back to the example of Tony Robbins, which you listen to Russell Brunson, he said, don't let this happen. But Tony Robinson, at one point, Jay Abraham was able to come in because his people aged out of his system, right? He had all of these programs. You work all the way through the programs, and then you at the end. And so then Jay Abraham came in and said, well, if your people are done with your program, how about you let me have them? I'm going to have that list and I can start selling on my program because it's the next level for you. Now, Russell Brunson will tell you, you'll never let your people age out.
You create programs
them and you keep offering them. You keep offering them. And then one of my coaches said, the way you do that is to listen to your people. And so when they get finished with a program, okay, what do you need next? And then you go create it. Okay, what do you need next? And then you go create it. And then what do you need next? And that's the way you keep growing with the people. So all that to say is really looking at your business model. I want everybody to think, do your people age out? If they age out, what other services can you offer them? Age out, grow out, whatever you want to call it, mature out, whatever. What other service can you offer to them? How can you bring them back in? Is there a follow-up service you can offer to them? A booster service or something to come back around and kind of keep them in your funnel. Keep them in your funnel.
That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah.
And that's unique. I think we dropped some good nuggets in this call today. I said this was a good call. I think we dropped some good nuggets in this
Very good call. Very I think that it's time to evaluate. Like it's that season to evaluate and be ready to shift, however is necessary. This is the time.
This is the time. And if you could adopt a spirit, a protocol, or whatever you want to call it, of change, of kind of testing new ideas. And so we'll see restaurants will do that. They'll bring out like a new menu item and they'll have it available so long to see how well it sells and how well it does. And then they'll decide, okay, based on the response, is this something that we need to add to the menu permanently or maybe not so much? And so I would challenge companies, organizations, service industries to also figure out how often they want to offer a new service. When do I want to put a new service into place to see, do my people gravitate toward this? Do they like this? Is this something that serves them or something that's not? And people also, I've seen people do that with products. Maybe they'll give you a sample of something new to see if the people like it. Do you really like the sample? Do they come back and ask for it or not? So let's figure out as service industries how we can do that. Like just kind of adopt the attitude of testing new things out so that we make sure we're changing. So that we make sure and really being aware of that. I'm so excited.
That's good. Yeah, I am too. I'm going to send you a list of at least 3 things from this meeting that we could talk about next week because this was too good to not continue.
It is. This is a really good one.
The shift is everything right now.
It is. It is. What are you thinking? Like I see your brain just going like you were.
Yeah, well, one of the shifts that I'm working on is filling my calendar. Right? Like filling my calendar with events. I have, so people tell you, oh, you should only be working on one thing at a time. Focus. First of all, that could never be me. Number one. Number two, what I've learned is that you get the people in place for the moving parts, right? And that is something that is starting to work out for me. And I realized that was what was not working out is because I was the one trying to work on everything before. This thing is big. Your movement is big, Natalie. There's no way the one woman show is going to be able to facilitate that thing.
It's not.
And that's a big shift that we are going to have to embody. So, like, and the reason why I was thinking, I was like, me filling my calendar is making me happy, and me filling my calendar is going to make me more money, going to make my people more money. Like, that's a shift. Like, stop. I don't have to adopt that. I only work on one thing. I'm not. I just have to have the ecosystem to be able to carry that. You know what I mean? And I just really want to share with you all that, first of all, you are just so unique to whatever it is you do. And at this age and point in business, whether experienced or new entrepreneur, you have just got to find that core of what you want. Like, I had to make a decision. Okay, so what are you going to lead with? And I'm leading with the Cherise B brand. I had my imposter syndrome. I couldn't lead with the Cherise B brand because I didn't believe in her. You know what I'm saying? As a brand.
Gotcha.
I was trying to lead with all of my everything else. Oh, I'm going to lead with the Glow Up event, with the CEO Glow Up, with the One Woman Show, with the blah, 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 blah. I'm going to lead with all that. No. You lead with Cherise B, with the Cherise B experience. And all of those are the entities and the experiences that you have when you come and experience Cherise B. And I wanted to say that out loud because, you go and you learn all this information. You get all this information overload, and people tell you, oh, do it like this and oh, do it like that, which I don't really particularly care for that type of coaching, because you got to know that everyone is so different. You gotta coach with an open mind and, open road of thinking, so people can think for themselves, because a lot of people aren't able to think for themselves because that's not how they were programmed. So if you tell them to do something, they're going to go do exactly what you said do. And then when that doesn't work out for them, it doesn't work out for you. So you have to become the right type of coach that you need to be for your people. And you have to discern and let them tell you what they need. Excellent. And that is for me, I think the best way to model your business is let the people tell you what they need. And then you, based off your experiences and resources, give them what they need. That's what they paid you for.
Right. And you, as a consumer who's consuming coaching services, I need you to understand that's their recipe. And when you bring somebody else's recipe home, you might need to tweak that thing.
You need to tweak it, baby.
Your oven may work a little differently, and you need to bake it at 400 as opposed to 375. Right. You might need to add more salt, less sugar, less salt for your taste. And so just understand that you're in a lot of coaching services, you're buying that coach's recipe. You're buying that coach's recipe. So come home, bring it home, and adapt it to you, your needs, what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was really good.
Yeah.
Because you think, but it's working for them, it should work for them. No, you're a little different. And so you're on LinkedIn instead of Instagram. So you might need to operate a little differently. You might need to do it a little differently. And so tweak and test and find out what works and what doesn't work. And you guys, I'll say this. It works if you work it, but a lot of times you got to figure out how to work it for you. And so I strongly believe if they did it, I can do it. If that coach making $1 million, I can make $1 million in coaching. But you might not be able to follow their exact recipe because you're a different person. You have a different voice. You have a different tone, you have a different, probably maybe even a different demographic in which you're going after. And so maybe they made $1 million by selling $1 million service to one person, and that's just not who you are. So you need to sell 10 services at $100,000. Like, just figure what it is for you and your people. And it's okay. It doesn't look exactly like that coaches. Just bring the rest of it. It's okay. It's okay to change and adapt. And so that has been the theme of the day. And that's where we're going to end. It is okay to change and adapt. I want you to adopt a spirit of being open to change and adapting things, tailoring things and suiting them towards you, looking for changes that need to be made and being open to that so that you can always stay relevant. So, all right, Cherise, last words before we let the people go for the day.
I say get ready for the shift and pay attention, use your discernment, because, your people will tell you, life will tell you, you will tell you that it's time to shift. So don't stay stuck and get left behind. That's it.
I hear that. You say that 2 or 3 times in this thing today, get ready for the shift, but I heard it differently this last time. Like, I heard it is.
I have a whole
but this time I almost heard it prophetically, like,
it's prophetic. It's real prophetic. I have a workshop that I did before called Shift, and it was about just embodying, embracing what shift can be. Like, when I talk to people about anything, I really like to go a little deeper. Like, okay, so with the styling thing, right? People, when they have a conversation with me, they are typically like, thinking that they're just going to get dressed. And I'm like, well, no, because I can't just dress you, because if I dress you, you're not going to be able to maintain. If I just dress you, I have to dress you according to how you feel, how you see yourself, how you value yourself, how you want to show up in your marketplace, right? But why are you showing up how you're showing up right now in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Why do you show up like this? So whether it's good, bad, and different, whatever, it's like, I need to know why you show up like you do now, and why aren't you getting the results that you want?
Good job.
Right? So my job is to help you shift how you see, feel, and value yourself. Okay? Because that's affecting everything that you do. It's affecting how you show up in every area in life.
It is. I can see that. Definitely.
So you see why you feel the shift, the word different today? Because you've been doing your inner work, Natalie.
Oh, I feel like I've been working so hard lately, y'all. So,
you have.
Yeah. Okay.
And it feels different. So it's the same. So you'll show up in the same place. It's like going and reading the Bible and hearing the scripture, feeling it so different. Everywhere you walk, you can meet the same person. A person you love with all your heart and soul. But because you shifted your whole self and how you see you, you do not see or feel that person the same anymore.
That's true. Oh, girl, that's a whole sermon for somebody.
I know. That's why my work runs so deep. It just runs way deeper than me dressing you. I got work to do with you before we start dressing you. Now, I can dress you on the front end if I got to. You call me and I need to hook you up, whatever. But then we're going to start having some deep conversations. So, and guess what, Natalie? I'll be transparent because of the people we're talking to and the conversations that we're having. That's how I get you to stick with me.
Yeah.
That's how I'm not worried about this one time encounter with you, because once I hook you up for the first time on this surface level and I start breaking, the barriers and breaking the ice with certain conversations and look you in your eye and see where you really at, you're going to lock in with me and you're going to stay with me for the long haul.
Yeah. That's good. All right, my dear, you have a great and wonderful day. I hope y'all listened to us, got so much out of this today because we talked about so much. All right, and get ready for the shift.
Yes, yes.
All right.
And thank you for rolling with me. I was all over the place. But I think we got our point across.
Girl, we shifting. All right. I'll let you later.
Okay. All right. Be good, y'all.
Okay.